What's up, party people? Today I have an interview with RasorKing, who is the first player to legitimately achieve level 199 in Dekaron. If you guys have any questions that are not answered in this interview, you can leave them in the comments, and RasorKing, in his spare time, will answer some of those questions. Anyway, without further ado, let's get this party started. Hey guys, how's it going? Today we have an interview with RasorKing, who is the first player to not only, or the first player and the only player to achieve level 199 in Dekaron. RasorKing, do you want to go ahead and say hello to everyone?
Hey, I'd just like to say good evening and hello to everybody in the Dekaron community.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm extremely excited to be doing this interview with you today. I think everyone in the community will really enjoy hearing what you have to say. So thank you again for taking your time today, to do this with me.
More than welcome to.
Okay, so I'm just going to go down my list of questions here. So let's start off with, how long have you been playing Dekaron?
I started playing Dekaron back in the claims days, probably end of 2007, beginning of 2008.
Okay, cool. And what kind of prompted you to, or how did you find out about the game? I guess is what I'm curious about.
My kids got me into it.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, so that was back when it was still called Two Moons, correct?
Correct.
I believe.
Still
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, I had a friend that showed me this game, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But I would go to his house to play it because we had this really bad computer over at my house, and anytime I tried to play it, I would just lag like crazy. So it's kind of funny. Okay, so I believe you play the Azure Knight. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what would you say is your favorite thing about the Azure Knight?
I want to say the complexity of the character itself. It's the only character where you've got not just the weapons, but you got shield, sword. You can go dual hands, and you can go two-handed and duels. So it's a really complex player to play. So you got to know how to play the character. You just can't. I don't want to be bad to a baggy, but it's not a smash the button type character.
Yes,
It's more of a finesse character.
Yeah, you need to think about what you're doing. I mean, I feel that way. I mean, I primarily play a black wizard, and I would be lying if I said it was really complicated. Because let's be honest here, it's just dark wide, dark wide, dark wide, dark wide. So, I mean, I'm just being honest. No, that's cool. I definitely agree that or agree with that. I think the knight is a really cool character, and I'm guessing you do dual wield, probably for damage.
Yes.
For PvE.
I do duels because it's a better setup for PvE.
Yes, which is what you've been doing. Now, even though you play the Azure Knight, I'll still ask what your favorite class is.
Besides the AK, probably my next one would be the Signal. I think it's a real character that you really need to have to help as a team, especially in PvE. It's really great in hard dungeons. They have be able to get that heal and resurrection and stuff. So to me, I think the Seg is probably the next character I like, and I've got one that I use to take with me when I go into dungeons too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, definitely useful. I have a Signal that I use as well. It's nice to feel needed as a healer, right? You know, or like it's cool to play that support role sometimes. So
it is. I mean, the AK is a support character to an extent, but it's also an attack character. But the Signal is one of the ones that really, some of the harder dungeons you can't go through unless you have a Signal with you, depending upon your build.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So moving on from a little bit of your background here, the main reason that I wanted to set up this interview is to talk about your recent achievement, which was achieving level 199, being the first player to legitimately achieve level 199 on the server, because there's been issues in the past. But how does it feel to be the first player to do that?
A sense of relief.
Yeah?
Worked hard on it for a long time, and it was just, because it's not a quick thing. I will tell you that running through 185 dungeon at getting .06 with full runes on is a slow process.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my gosh.
You cannot level without runes nowadays. Not at that level. If you want to try to get it within any amount of certain time, and I'm saying within 5-6 months.
Yeah. So, like, how many runes would you normally have active, like, just on average? Just
14 to 16 runes.
14 to 16 runes. Oh my gosh! And still doing like a full run and getting point zero? 0.06?
0.06.
Oh my gosh, that is insane. That is so crazy how much experience is required for those high levels. That is some serious.
7.56 trillion to go to 199.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. So, how long did it take you to go from level 198 to level 199?
Actually, about a year overall.
Yeah.
Because I hit 198 last January.
Okay.
But actually pushing it, it's probably about 5 months of me making the decision that I'm going to get that level.
Okay. Okay. And are you currently hoping to go for level 200?
I probably will sooner or later, but it's going to take a little while because now you need 16.9 trillion.
Oh my gosh. And how much did you say it was for 199 again?
7.56 trillion.
And it goes from 7.5 to 16?
I was surprised because going to 198, it was only 5.6 or 5.3 trillion.
Yeah. Oh my
So it really a huge jump. I'm hoping they'll look at that and make it a little more reasonable. I thought it was going to be around 10.5 trillion.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've heard at all about this is a little off topic, but that new update that they got in Korea, I can't pronounce it. It's like Shangri-La or something like that.
Shangri-La.
Yeah. Thank you. But that map or whatever it is requires level 200 to enter it, which is kind of interesting. And I know some of the players that have translated some of the notes from Korea have seen that actually there's probably going to be a what's it called, like an XP rebalance or something like that. So I think it's possible that even though you're level 199 now, that with that XP rework, that you might actually be a higher level. Just because I don't think they're going to realistically expect people to, get that much experience. But I mean, I don't actually know. That's just kind of like a thought.
Yeah, it's actually you really got to plan for it too. And
Yeah.
I think one of your other questions will answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say you get to level 200. You spend another year or so working to get to level 200. What are your goals or your plans after you hit max level in Dekaron?
I really want to try to get my equipment up because I've had a lot of difficulty making gear because of the high failure rate. So
Yeah.
I really want to try to work on getting the gear to match my level and my rank.
Sure.
Because I've got my rank maxed out, levels 199,
Yep.
and I'm running around with +7 gear because I just fail constantly.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they'll do something with the success rate. And my thing is to try to get my gear to meet my level of my rank.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would like to see getting that end game gear being a little bit more realistic, just because it is.
Yeah.
It is. Very
I think the game
challenging.
should be fun and not frustrating.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. So when you say +7 gear, does that mean you're using like the health run or healthy or the or the Helion? Okay.
Healthy, not Helion.
Yeah.
I've made a few pieces of Helion and
Yeah.
they came out worse than my Healthy.
Oh, okay. So you're like, I'll just stay with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even tried with the healthy stuff yet. I mean, I've crafted a few items and they've all been pretty bad, and it's kind of like I don't really want to waste my time trying to plus something up that isn't,
Well, I crafted
decent.
about 35 axes before I got 2 decent ones.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Although I guess with you spamming the 185 dungeon, it made it a little bit easier to get the supplies you needed for the crafting.
Everything but seeds.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's probably like you got a lot of everything except for the worst thing to farm, which is the Seed of Dreams. I hate farming the Seed of Dreams. Yeah, okay, cool. So, as for Dekaron as a whole, what would you say your favorite thing about Dekaron is?
The people, a lot of the people in the game. There's a lot of dedicated people, long-term people that have been playing. There's really good people that like to help you out. That like to do things with you. It's just a good community. I mean, there's been points in the game where if there was not a good community that we have, this game wouldn't be alive right now.
Yeah, no,
So
definitely.
I will tell you it's really the people,
Cool.
that really make it good.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is kind of... that is kind of what makes an MMORPG an MMORPG, right? Is that you have a community that you can interact with, and if you don't have a healthy community, then it's just not going to be a very fun experience. So that's cool to hear that.
Yep.
Yeah. So a little more in-depth question is, how do you feel about the current state of Dekaron? Kind of getting your opinion or an opinion from a seasoned player.
Well, I've seen it through all the ups and downs that I can say from when we haven't had the guild when that was taken away and all the other stuff. But I'm happy to see that they're finally doing something about the duping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that trying to use especially since they started using 30%ers as cash instead of dill.
Yep.
I think they need to get a hold on that there.
Yeah.
Uh, the other thing I think they need to do to help the community is they need to make sure that it's still fun and not frustrating. So they need to look at how their success rate is, so that way they can. I've had probably 8 or 9 people that I know of that have come back to the game, played it for about 2 months, and it's hey, I can't do it anymore. I got to quit. I got to keep failing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're losing people that would come back, and then because it's a failure rate.
Yep.
It's supposed to be fun, not frustrating. So I think that right now with having the moderators, the CRs, the
Yep.
Discord going forward, I think it's helping out the community. The community's doing a lot better. They're starting to have more transparency with the community, and that was one of the big problems I think Game Minds and the other ones had. Is there was no transparency with the community,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they need to have that transparency. If something's wrong, tell the community.
I
If you do that, the community will understand. If something's bad and you hide it, they're going to find out, and then they're going to be upset because you, you didn't do it. I think a prime example was when all that the gear and everything, all those gems came up missing.
Yep.
The people waited and waited and waited. If they had just done a immediate revamp 12 hours later on the thing, they would have saved themselves and everybody else a lot of headaches.
Yeah.
And then they
Seriously.
kept everybody waiting and waiting and waiting for the gems, and we're talking months.
Yep.
So that was frustrating. So transparency in the community, I think, is a big thing that it's coming along, and they just need to keep working on that.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you. I feel like even if things aren't going super well, as long as there's some form of communication, it at least makes players feel better, right? Because then someone cares.
Exactly. They're putting things out there, talking, they're putting the news out there. I don't expect new updates, and it's something that's going to change every week. But as long as there's something going on, and they're doing something, and they're working towards something, then they're putting the news out to the community that, hey, in 2 weeks we're going to do this, or hey, go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the web shop. Something's coming up.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. All right. And then you kind of answered this already, but is there anything else you'd like to see in Dekaron's future in terms of like updates or events or anything like that?
Some higher level dungeons that work towards other things. I mean, I know we got the 190 out there right now, but I like to see another something dungeon coming out there also.
Yeah.
Something that we can have a variety.
Oh, definitely.
And probably the other thing I would look at is that as being a high level player, sometimes you're required to go to lower level maps to do things. But if you ever take a look at the CQ boards and stuff like that, you'll see that when you do a quest, you only get 10%. You're being penalized to go to a map to do something, and you're penalized to go there.
Oh wow, I've actually never noticed that before.
Take a look at it when you do some CQ quests. It says if you're above this level, you only get 10%.
Wow.
So I go to the map to do what you need me to do. Like, say for example, I need stone pieces.
Sure.
So I can go ahead and I can make the emblem.
Yep.
That's the 171 dungeon.
Yep.
I'm 199. What do you think they give me out of that?
Yeah.
10%.
10%. Oh wow.
So I'm penalized for doing what I need to do because of my level.
Yeah. No, that's.
I think that should be taken out.
Oh, 100%. Especially since it's a dungeon that you need to go to for what you're doing. So it's like, why are you being penalized for that?
For DK coins, you need it there. You got to go there for the daily. Once a week you go there, and that's the best place to go get your stone pieces for your emblem.
Yep. All right. Well, cool. So okay. Some better dungeons and potentially fixing things like the 10% experience, which is ridiculous. I've never even noticed that before. Although I've never really been trying to. I mean, I'm 192, and I haven't really had a want to go much higher than that. So I guess I just haven't really paid attention. But especially with stuff coming out in the future that's going to require a higher level, that's going to be very important. So awesome. So let's see. The last main question that I have for you is, what advice would you have for someone trying to reach max level?
Preparation. There's no way that you can level without runes. So stock up on ruins when they go on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Malachites, put a fisher guy out. You're going to need 30 to 50,000 Malachites at least.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And if you take a look, I looked today in the shop. There's one guy selling 1,000 of them for 2.3 bill.
Oh, wow.
So put a fisher guy out there and start stocking up. Talk to your buddies to help them come and help you sometimes because it gets monotonous.
Yeah.
I would bring in lower level characters in just to run with me just to make it a little different.
Yeah.
You know. And one of the other fun things I enjoy is that I get a lot of people now stop me, just say, "Pardon me, please," and so they can see what my rank is.
Oh.
You know, but a lot of times I'll always take people in Matera and lower levels, and I'll runs with them and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. So I think that is all the questions I have. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the Dekaron community or anyone that might be watching this video?
Go out there and have fun. Make the game fun. Enjoy it. Meet up with the people, party them, enjoy. That's what the game's all about. Yeah. You know, find yourself a good guild that you mesh with the people and enjoy. Yeah. It's a fun game.
Yeah, I like that answer a lot because there's a lot of people that just say a lot of negative things and are very negative about the game all the time. So it's very fresh to see your positive attitude about the game. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I think the game's going to do well. You just keep moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, I think that is all the time we have here today. And thank you again for taking part in this interview. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure the community really appreciates it as well. I will leave a little note here. I'm going to say that people watching the video could leave some more questions for you, and then maybe in your spare time you could look at the comments and answer those questions. Do you think you'd be up for that? Okay, yep. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking your time too. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the video. RasorKing, thank you again so much.